At the very edge of the forest, where the trees whisper secrets to the wind, stood a small, weathered cabin. It looked forgotten, its chimney cold for months, its door creaking with the sound of emptiness. Inside lived an old man, his heart as quiet as his home. He remembered a time when the cabin was filled with laughter his wife's, louder than the rain, and his sons, who stacked firewood taller than himself. But the years had been unkind, leaving only silence in their wake. One crisp winter morning, the man opened his door to a surprise. A single pheasant feather, bright and perfect, lay neatly on his porch. He scanned the silent, snow-covered landscape, puzzled. Then, just at the tree line, he saw it. A flash of brilliant orange fur, two watchful eyes. A fox. She didn't run. She held his gaze for a moment, proud and unafraid, before melting back into the woods. The next day, he found a pinnacle. The day after, a polished rabbit bone. Then, a half-eaten apple from the forest floor. Every morning brought a new, small token, laid carefully by his door. He started to look forward to them, a soft smile touching his lips as he collected each one. "You again?" he'd whispered to the empty woods, his eyes glinting with a forgotten light. "You, clever thing." One evening, as thick snow blanketed the world, he saw the fox again, shivering by the trees. Without a second thought, he placed a piece of bread and some meat on the porch. The next morning, the food was gone. In its place was a single, perfect stone, smooth, white, and still warm from where she'd carried it. That's when he understood. She wasn't scavenging. She was giving. Their unspoken ritual began. He would leave food. She would leave a trinket from the forest in return. A feather, a wildflower, a piece of moss. As the seasons turned, she grew bolder, her golden eyes softening when he spoke. Sometimes she'd sit by the porch as he played his old harmonica, her head tilted, listening to the sad, sweet notes that drifted into the quiet night. They never touched, but their connection was deeper than words. A wild heart and a lonely soul, bound by simple acts of kindness. One spring, the man didn't come out. The porch stayed empty for days. The fox came, a bright feather in her mouth, and laid it gently at the door. She waited, her ears twitching, listening for a voice that never came. She stayed until dusk, then slipped back into the shadows. Weeks later, a neighbor found a man peaceful in his chair, a faint smile on his face, and beside his boots lay a single, fresh feather. They say that even now, when the snow falls just right, you can see a fox pause by that old cabin, as if checking in on a friend. Because love isn't always spoken. Sometimes, it's left quietly on a doorstep, a gift from the wild, in memory of kindness. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales that warm the soul.